Hey guys, what is going on? Dudetbg here, coming at you with some new Call of Duty content because I got nothing better to do. The gameplay you are seeing in the background is me using the AN-94 on standoff. That's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we are here to talk about winning more gunfights. Now, I might not be the best person to give this type of information because I've only been playing this game for almost 2 years now, but I mean, I feel like that I can give a little bit of insight to some of you newer people out there that are just starting to play, and I feel like that I got some information that may benefit. So I'm just gonna go down through a list, not exactly from best to the worst on ways to help you, but just some ways that'll help you in general. One of my number one things is you have to jump shoot, or you don't have to jump shoot, but it's a very good thing to do because it'll help you win more gunfights. And my second thing is you need to drop shoot. And jump shooting and drop shooting that can just be one of the most important things in winning gunfights. It may seem like a very cheap tactic to use, but it's just benefits. And it has a lot of benefits, and you'll see pro players doing it. You'll see average players like me who use it, and once you start using it, you'll see why it's such a good way to win more gunfights. And a lot of people say it takes no skill, but it does take a considerable amount of skill to jump and shoot at the same time, or jump around corners, and just to keep yourself on target. That can be very hard. So you need to. It does take a little bit of practice. Drop shooting, not as much. It does for some people. You may go into a dolphin dive. For me, that doesn't really happen. I just don't have that issue. But yeah, for jump shooting, there's a number of possibilities for it. You can use scuff controllers, which have buttons on the back of them, which make it very easy to jump shoot and to drop shoot. Or what you can do is you can use a claw grip, which I'm not going to really explain to you, but you can look it up on the internet, where it's a certain way you hold your controller where it makes it easier to do jump shooting and drop shooting. I don't use any of these, if you guys can already tell, because if you see me, I just jump. I jump around the corner before I even see the person. So that's just how I do it, because I can't really jump in the middle of a gunfight because I don't use any of those techniques like scuff controllers or using a claw grip. I've tried using a claw grip and it's very hard, so if you want to get into that, it's going to take a lot of practice. Just beware. So that's how I do it, and I'll just take my thumb off the thumbstick or joystick, and I'll just press the X button. That's just how I do it. It's kind of hard, but you'll get used to it. Like right there, I just jumped in the air, and I went to a drop shot, and it'll catch your enemies off guard a lot. So anyway, my number 3 is you need to use a gun that you're comfortable with. Like the AN-94, for me, I am comfortable with this weapon, and I feel like that I can use this weapon effectively. Same with the MSMC. So if you're gonna go and try and win more gunfights, you need to use guns that are best suited for you. Now, my number 4 is this special technique, which I'm showing you right now on the screen, where you jump around if you see a guy, you run around the corner. What you can do is he's probably going to start sprinting at you. So then you just jump around the corner, and just, if you can see how I'm doing it, you can catch him off guard while he is in his sprint. So then you can kind of maneuver around him while you're jumping in the air and shoot him. Now this can be kind of a hard tactic to use, and I try and use it the best I can, but it does get kind of difficult. But you'll see a lot of pro players using it and average players like me, and this can benefit you a lot. Now, my number 5 technique, or not really technique, but just something you should do in general, which is kind of self-explanatory, but you should use the 2 perks the perk that I use, and is probably my favorite perk, is dexterity, because you come out of your sprint quicker, so you can recover and win more gunfights that way, because it always sucks to get caught up in your sprint, which I used to always hate. And then The other thing I use is I always use quick draw, so it's easier to it's just easier to aim quicker after sprinting. So those ways can help you a lot. I use those on every single class I use just because it's so effective. Just to use both those things in a combination, it can help you win gunfights dramatically. And my number 6 is kind of something that you have to adapt over time, which I haven't exactly completely learned yet, which is you need to be able to aim pretty well, and your reaction time needs to be really good. Now, you don't want to use this in you want to use this in addition to your tactics. Don't completely take out your tactical reasoning just for aiming really well and your reaction time, because that's not exactly what makes a good player. You want to be able to know your surroundings and be able to do those things at the same time, which you can see I can't always do. This is why I can never go on really large streaks, is because my tactics aren't really there. But yeah, that kind of comes based over time. There's certain things that you can do or stuff on the internet that'll tell you exactly what your reaction time is, which I can leave that in the description if you want. I've used it before. It's kind of cool. It's like a little game, and it tells you down to the point what your reaction time really is in numbers, which it's kind of cool to do. My reaction time is around like a 0.3 or 0.4. You guys can check out yours. It's really neat. But anyway, that was basically, these are basically the ways that I think that you can help in increasing your ability to win more gunfights. And as you see, basically every single gunfight I get into, I'll do a drop shot, and it just works. It just works all the time. But you want to be careful when you're doing your drop shots too, because a lot of the times you'll get caught in a prone block, which that can be very frustrating. So you want to be careful with that too. And then one more thing, you want to be sure that you have the correct sensitivity for you. It doesn't always mean you have to have a high sensitivity. You really don't. If you go and watch certain pro players, I'll see pro players that are playing with like 5 sensitivity and 4 sensitivity, and a lot of the times they'll switch the sensitivities out between guns, which I don't really do. I like my sensitivity at about a 7. I don't know what you guys use, but whatever feels comfortable for you, you can keep. A lot of people think the higher sensitivity, the better. It really doesn't matter. And my last final tip for you guys is pre-firing around corners, which I think a lot of you probably already do. It's kind of self-explanatory, but things that'll help you for pre-firing around corners is using UAV and advanced UAV, or whatever you want to call it. It's different for each Call of Duty game. But anyway, yeah, that's basically how you can win more gunfights. And if you guys enjoyed the video, you can like the video, and if you dislike the video, you can rip all my limbs off and throw me in a burning fire, and then feed me to a bunch of piranhas. But yeah, anyway, that was all for today's video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.
Gun down, stand by.
Good hits. Approved for immediate re-attack.
Smoke.
Mapper 1-2. Guns. Good effects. Targets destroyed. 3 confirmed.
Sniper.
Visual friendlies. Tally target. Good strike.
He's gone.
2 is Winchester.
Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Gentlemen, that was textbook.